The former Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat may have been poisoned to death with radioactive polonium, according to a report by Swiss forensic experts. Arafat died in a French military hospital in 2004, but his body was exhumed last year amid claims of foul play. Jane Dodge reports.
They cried foul before he was even buried. The man with no state to call his own got his very own state funeral in Egypt. His wife and daughter had accompanied his body from Paris to Cairo, where he was born a refugee 75 years earlier. But Yasser Arafat was buried back at his headquarters in Ramallah, and it was there last year, behind the blue tarpaulins, that his body was exhumed, then reinterred after samples were taken by the French, Swiss and Russian investigators looking into allegations that he'd been poisoned. Now the Swiss have published their results, and Yasser Arafat's widow says they prove her husband was murdered.
Words can't express the sorrow, my deep sorrow and the sorrow of my daughter, but mostly the anger. We are so angry, and we consider that it's crime. It's a political crime. It's a political assassination of a great leader. It's so hard. We are doing our sorrow again, you know. We are mourning him again.
So who did it and how? In October 2004, Arafat fell ill. He was flown to France and died within a month. The official cause of death was a massive stroke, but French doctors said at the time they were unable to determine the origin of his illness. Foul play was suspected. Arafat had enemies among his own people, but many Palestinians believed Israel was responsible. But Israel always denied involvement. The PLO claimed the results prove polonium was used, the same radioactive substance that killed the Russian spy Alexander Litvinenko. Mrs. Arafat says her husband's death was just as horrific. The Swiss scientists have been more cautious, saying their results only moderately support the polonium theory. Israel has described it as more soap opera than science.